funny. I do a lot of public speaking and have for a long time, and obviously I speak here on the show. I do other things as well, but one thing I have learned over the years is that public speaking is about the number one fear that most people have in the world. I've got my own fears. Fortunately, that's not one of them. But for those of you who do, you may need a coach. We all need business coaches, life coaches, everything. You might need a speaking coach, or you might just need a pointer or two from somebody that does it professionally. That's where this guy comes from. Mike Wilson, Speak Audibly.
That's it, Speak Audibly.
How bad is that? I butchered the name of the company, Speak Audibly. Maybe I need you as well.
No, hey, I'm here for you.
All right, so Mike Wilson, as a public speaker, is there certain topics you speak on, or what's your story?
Yes, sir. So my story, in West Philadelphia, born. No, I was playing.
Nice.
That's Will Smith.
Nice.
That's not my story. I'll let Will have that one.
Okay.
But for me, I'm from Illinois originally, athlete, and I loved speech class. If you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I can tell.
I love speech class. So I speak on mental growth.
Okay.
I love to help people take those dreams that they have and put feet to them.
Take the dreams and put feet to them. Turn the dream. You're not the dream maker. You're the dream realizer.
That's exactly it. Yes, sir.
Help people realize their dreams, and in conjunction with that, or maybe it's totally different, but I think there's some overlapping as far as your life coaching experience.
Yes, sir.
What does that entail, being a life coach?
Oh, man, yes. From being a pastor at one point in life to just being a dad, a husband, a friend, I always seem to find myself in those relationships where I'm that individual giving some sort of advice or giving some sort of higher perspective. 'Cause that's really what it comes down to. It's just a difference of perspective.
So have you, throughout your life, Mike, have you had people that have served those roles for you?
Oh, yes.
As far as coaching you or helping you out with things?
Oh, yes. That's the reason why I'm in Texas. Like I said, I'm from Illinois, but my mentor, Garrett Newman,
absolutely.
You know Garrett. Yeah. He came down here. I followed him because he was that guy for me.
Okay, good.
He was that guy for me.
Well, we all need somebody like that in our lives, but very few of us realize that, first of all, and take the advice and everything, but then they become the giver.
That's it.
That's you, and you made a business out of it as well. And as if you didn't have enough going on, you're about to release a book.
I am.
Tell me about this.
Yes, sir. So the book is called 100% Me, and this is the first book of a 3-part series.
Oh, okay.
So this is the mentally side of it. It's broken into 4 sections, and if I can, I'd love to go into those 4 sections for you.
Let's go.
Okay, so the first section is all about what is the world giving us, right? What is the world selling me? And so it's all about the world. The second part is what are we bringing into our minds, right? So the world's giving me something. What am I keeping?
Okay.
Because what I keep then becomes a belief in my heart, right? And so what's in my heart is what I begin to speak on. So it goes from the world to my mind to my heart to my mouth back into the world. So it's what I call the cycle of belief.
So the cycle of belief.
Yes, sir.
So has the book is releasing here pretty soon, here in March.
In March, yes, sir.
Getting there, right?
We are getting there.
But the book has been in your heart, in your mind, everything for much longer than that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
You finally got to, what was the thing that finally got you to the point to where you could reach your goal of writing a book and get it out there?
Honestly, it came down to that one person.
Okay.
That person that I met this young lady in one of the networking events that I go to, and she began to tell me about just how hard it was for her to get a book out. And here I am with this book in my heart, and trying to then coach her into writing a book.
Yes.
And I said,
wait a minute, you already did it?
Wait, exactly. I don't know how I'm going to coach you.
Did you switch seats?
That's exactly what happened. And so here I am. I'm like, I got to beat you and get my book out first before you get your book out. And yeah, that's how it all came about.
The student becomes the teacher.
Yes, exactly. Yes, Grasshopper.
Yep. I don't know if it's in your book or not, but it was in the footnotes I was reading about you, Mike Wilson, before you came in. And an interesting term, resolutions versus standards.
Yes, sir.
What is that? What's the difference there?
Yes, sir. So being that we are in a new decade, right? Not just a new year now, we're in a new decade.
I know.
There's so many people who have carried on these resolutions from a decade ago. And when I'm sitting down with individuals and I'm helping kind of coach or bring a different perspective to their life, that's one of the things that keeps coming up is, well, it's kind of this ongoing resolution. I'm like, well, then it's not a resolution.
No. Okay,
and
fair
so
enough.
what I found is that these resolutions are actually kind of just goals, small wants that people have.
Okay.
And so what I'm trying to then connect it to is it needs to be a standard in your life. You see, because standards are tied to our why. So I'll give you an example. I met with a young man, right? I say young because I call everybody young.
Sure.
It's a term of endearment.
Don't get me started. Well, okay, go ahead. We'll take some of that.
There you go. But he said, you know what? I want to eat better this year. And I looked at him, and I'm a product of the 5 whys. I try to go 5 whys deep on everyone, right? And so I say, okay, well, why? And he said, well, I want to eat better. Because I want to feel better. And I said, well, why? He's like, 'cause I'm tired of going to the pool and being ashamed to take my shirt off. I said, oh, well, why? He said, well, you know, people always have judged me, and I don't want anyone to point at me and laugh and all this stuff. And I said, well, why? He said, you know what? Because I never could live up to what my dad wanted for me. He would put me into sports. I could never keep up with the other kids. He would do these things to try to help me to lose this weight. And it's not, I mean, he's not a very overweight guy. And so I'm like, wow. But I realized it's not just eating healthy you want to do this year and in this decade. You still, as a grown man, want to make your dad proud. That's what it came down to. And when I was able to make that connection with him, for him it was like, whew. So here we are, we plan out some things that would help make his dad proud. I got to sit down with his dad. His dad never knew this, like, oh, I just tried to push you, and there's apologizing, and you see all this love, and it's like, this is why I do what I do.
Wow.
This is why I do what I do.
That's a great one. I love it. You know, I've always, not always, but I am familiar with the 5 whys deal, but put like that into where it actually works makes it pretty cool. You know, back to the coaching thing too, you don't just work with individuals. Sometimes an entire organization needs a coach. Is there some difference there to when you're coaching a whole organization versus a one-on-one?
Oh yes, and you definitely have to know your audience. That's key
absolutely,
one.
absolutely.
You know? And so when it comes to organizations, I do trainings. I've developed a couple assessments that I have everyone do, because what I realize is people are fearful of feedback. You know, they see feedback as criticism, and first thing is trying to break that down, because without feedback, you're not growing. I mean, this is just because I love you and because I care about you, whether I'm your employer, whether I'm an employee, I care about the people around me. So why wouldn't I want to make them better, as iron sharpens iron, right? And so I'm still developing a lot of those trainings, but that's one of the trainings that I do. I have what I call the 3LG, 3 levels of growth assessment. That I do with small businesses.
And that's for small businesses.
That's for small businesses,
well.
yes, sir.
So what's the best way for people to find you if they're interested?
Definitely go to my website, speakaudibly.com.
Yep, it's right here on the screen. See it?
There you go, right down there.
Speakaudibly.com, and through that we can get information on everything from individual coaching to your public speaking stuff.
That's exactly
organizations, and your book.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Be coming out soon.
Just follow the tabs.
Soon as well. Is book number 2 already circling around
already
somewhere in there? Well, you mentioned it's like a trilogy.
That's it,
You know, we've got the first one coming out, but that is exciting.
Yes, sir.
You know, we've had more than a few people writing books sitting there in that chair. What do you think was obviously coming up with a topic and getting it out there, but just from the business standpoint of the book, are you self-published? Did you find somebody to help you? Was that tricky?
All of the above.
Yeah.
Being that I am a coach, it kind of be blasphemy for me not to have a coach, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
To know the benefits of
you need a coach. I don't, but
Exactly.
everybody else does, and you need me.
That's
that won't
exactly
work.
it.
Okay.
So I was able to find some individuals who have gone the self-publishing route.
Okay.
And kind of glean off of what they had, and that's what I've done. I've been able to build a team of editors, build a team of formatters around me, some book designers, and but the hardest part, and I think is what a lot of people run into, is actually getting the thing on paper.
Yeah.
Because it seems like a daunting task. It seems overwhelming, right? Like I have to get how many thousands of words, and it can get really daunting. But with today's technology, you can speak and dictate.
Well, I was going to ask you, did you do that?
I sure did.
Okay.
So right now I'm doing a lot of traveling, right? I'm meeting new people, coaching new people all over the Metroplex. Anytime I was on the road, I was boop, and I'd get to writing or speaking.
Page 2.
I would just speak audibly.
Well, and that's good. Speaking audibly, and I'm guessing too. Don't need to tell your business, but I think I'm right on this. What can't be that much longer until you have a seminar based on the book.
That's exactly it. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Which ties it all together. But it's neat to take a guy, Mike Wilson, who can take all the things that life has given you, all the people you've met, all the stories you've made, put those together, not just for the individual things, but to make a business out of it.
Yes, sir.
That's very impressive.
Thank you.
And I'm sure you're quite the coach and speaker for everybody that's blessed enough to work with you. We're blessed to have you here on the show with us today. Wish you all the best. I'm going to check out that website myself because I want a book when it comes out.
That's it. Awesome. Thank you so much.
It's Mike Wilson, everybody, talking about his company, Speak Audibly, his book, his life as a coach. And I'm telling you, you just might need not just a coach, this one right here.
Awesome.
Mike,
so
thanks,
much.
man. Appreciate you coming in. Thank you, folks. Catch you next time on All In.